Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back to some more, I guess this is Planet Coaster with Fraggle, and fun with physics. So, I was asking myself the other day, alright, so now we've established that the different cars have different weights, so they do go around the track at slightly different speeds, except the flying coaster, which seems to completely ignore the laws of physics at the moment. And then I thought, well, what about efficiency? And curves and things like that. And I've already realized that this test is actually a complete waste of time. I was gonna send them down the track, but I realized that, of course, that's a completely invalid test, since this is going to be going... This should end up going twice as far as this one. Let's run the test anyway. Since I've got this snaking all the way, this one should travel half the distance of this one, assuming that it does not lose momentum because of the cornering. Does that make sense? So we will initialize the test. Initialize the test. Alrighty, let's let these go and we'll see where we end up. Again, this is completely invalid because I forgot about the length of track. Haha! And I also forgot to set the ejection speed for the stations. Alright, so let's... Let's try this again in a minute. Alright, there's more. Exit speed 10 meters per second. Done. End and initialize. Alright, and then the same with this one. Dang, I knew I'd forget something. Exit speed 10 meters per second. Alrighty, I think they've both got the same number of cars. We'll check that too, I guess. Number of cars 10. Let's take this down to 6. End and initialize. I'll do the same thing over here. Take this down to 6. End and initialize. And let's do this again for a complete waste of time. Okay. And away we go. Alright, so they both stopped at exactly the same time. Now, has this one traveled twice the distance of this one? No. Interesting. Make of that what you will. As I said, I completely screwed this up because, you know, this track is traveling almost twice as far in one section. Well, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 sections of this track is actually traveling further than this one. Alright, so whatever. Although, like I said, technically this should have gotten further. This one should be further out than this one. So the next one. Yes! There's another one. Haha! Now I figured, well, what if we add in a twist onto the track, right? Technically, if you add the twist into the track, it should take away energy from the car. It should take away momentum. So if I launch these at the same speed, this one should not travel as far as this one, who's traveling on completely flat track. So let's initialize the tests. Make sure they both got the same number of cars. We'll take it down to 6 again. Initialize the test. Do the same thing on this side. 6 cars. And initialize. You know what? Let me double check and make sure they're being launched at the same speed. 10 meters per second. Yep. Okay, we're good there. And this one. 10 meters per second. Yep. Okie dokie. So, just make sure that these actually start at the same time. Alright, so bearing in mind the laws of physics, this one should travel further than this one. Right? Right, so let's have a look, see here, see what happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, that's an interesting result, is it not? So this one traveled almost a full 2 car lengths further than this one. Well, train lengths rather, not car lengths. Almost a full 2 car lengths further than this one. And that's the one that had the twist in it. Another interesting result. What we make of that, I'm not too sure. But there's something fishy afoot. Alright, so now we have another test. This one is a back and forth test. This one, and this is the last one here. In this one I've just got the track curve, banking left and right and left and right and left and right. So it's still the same length of track. We're just applying a force, sideways force, onto the cars. So technically this one would experience a lot more friction than this one. Right? Right. So, once again, I am going to make sure that these are set properly. I don't think I set these ones actually. No, I didn't. Okay, 10 meters per second. Done. Number of cars, 6. And initialize the test. Same on this one. Crank this up, 10 meters per second. Yup. Number of cars, 6. And then initialize the test. And let's see how this one goes. And go! And away we go. So it's banking left, banking right. Well, look at that. This one has actually traveled the farthest than all the others. Huh. So, if you add banking to your tracks, you can actually get your cars to travel further than you can doing anything else. Well, on level ground or a level track. Isn't that awesome? That's really pretty awesome. Now, you could argue that, you know, when it's coming down on this side, gravity would be pulling it down the track, right? Because the gravity is pulling the cars back down again, so they're having to be pulled down this little section. But they have to be pushed up, which means they're fighting gravity, which means it should slow it down. Technically, this piece of track should have finished back here, not up here. Huh. Isn't that curious? So it makes you wonder if you know what? I'm going to redo this piece of track here, and I'm going to do the barrel roll all the way down and see where we end up. How's that? Does that sound like a plan? That sounds like a plan to me. Alright, so we'll go all the way back here. Oh yes. How far back does this go? Oh, I've got the test. Oh, let me pause it so the sun stays up. Okay, so I want to make sure we leave the station before we start anything already, and then rolls, and then we'll just do a bunch of inline twists, all the same direction. And then we'll finish it there. Okay, so now we hit done. Alright, so now we got the inline twists all the way down the track. Let's double check. 6 cars. Let's check the station actually. Make sure we got the launch speed and everything set properly. 10 meters per second, yep. 6 cars. And initialize. Close. And this one we'll do the same. We're going to double check, make sure that we haven't fluffed anything. So this is as accurate a test as we're going to get. 10 meters per second, yep, okie dokie. And 6 cars, okay, and initialize. Let's see what happens this time. And away we go. Alright, both cars are traveling at the same speed initially. And once again, our car that's off doing acrobatics, I guess is the word. Is that the word? Doing maneuvers is actually traveling further, and he's actually traveled a considerable amount of distance farther than just the flat car. Wow. Isn't that curious? That to me, that's very odd. Very odd indeed. Well, definitely something to think about there. I'm going to continue considering other potential tests of various roller coasters. I can't wait for the wooden ones to come out because I really want to test the friction coefficients on those wooden roller coasters because they should be diabolical. And you know, the ability to grease the tracks as well when if that is added in, if we can grease the tracks to counteract friction and get the coasters to travel faster, farther and smoother. If that becomes an option, that would be great. Anyway, for the moment, there's a couple of things to think about there. Definitely some head scratchers. But I will see you anon.